Hi again. Today I plan to do some welding work and garden. Garden is normally not my stuff, that's my wife's area of expertise, and not always sure if I'm allowed in. I'm allowed in the garden, but I'm not doing anything. But I have been asked to make a steel holder for this rose tree. So my idea is to have 4 steel rods going down, 3 rings, let's see, around 200 millimeters in diameters, up here, middle, and almost down at the soil. And on top to support, because the flowers become rather heavy and it almost breaks the little tree. So out of these 4 steel rods going up, I'm going to bend out 4 like this and have 2 wider circles that has a diameter of 400 millimeters. So the branches could be supported and go in between and so on, and keep a little bit of the weight. So I have some steel material in the workshop, and we bought some thinner steel rods. So I'm going to be using a thinner one, I think around 6 millimeters on the top, and for the going down a little bit thick, I think it's 8 that I have in the good to have box. So that's it, and let's go into the whiteboard in the workshop, and I'll draw a quick picture of approximately how it's going to look like. So see you there. Hi again. So a short explanation: we have a grass that is now brown, but think of it as green. We have our tree, or a rose tree, to be really nice. It looks something like that. What I'm going to do is to make, as I said, small circles out of steel that has a diameter of 200 millimeters. And having 4 steel rods going down and down into the soil. So the plan is to have this part, I need to look at my quick drawing, 110 millimeters, no, sorry, 1100 millimeters, and roughly maybe 400 millimeters down to the ground. On top here I want to make 2 circles. They're going to have a diameter of 400 millimeters, and then make something nice looking like this. Symmetric, not as it turned out in the picture. So, like a basket to hold the crown of a rose tree. So that's what I'm going to do now, and I'm going to start up to cutting up material and bending these circles, weld this part together, and then do the funny stuff to do the basket. So let's start with this one, and see you in the metal workshop. I actually have, I never said that before, this is an old garage. What we are in now is what I call my woodworking shop. It's only wood and woodworking machines, and in here as you can see, we take a quick scan of the room. Hope you don't get seasick. And what you have seen in my other videos that I have done some metalworking in Swedish though, is in here I have my metal workshop. The whole idea behind this is one thing, I don't want to have all the wood dust in my lathe and my milling machine and goo up all the oil in them. But I normally have some blanket over them to protect them. But another thing that early on annoyed me quite a bit, if you fix your bicycle and so on, and you have oil on fingers, you have oil on the screwdrivers, you put them up. Next time you need to fix something in your woodworking machine, you don't think about it, you fix it, and you have oil on your fingers, and then your precious tree that you're making a table of, you put black hands on, and you never forgive yourself. So that's the reason why I have dual setup of tools, because that annoyed me quite a bit in the past. So I have woodworking tools only used in here, metalworking tools in here, used outside, garden, whatever, clean nice one in here. So let's see you all in the metal workshop. Bye bye. So, always keep, I don't know, I think there's a, we call it in Swedish that you are a squirrel, because you're collecting not nuts but stuff. I think I'm a squirrel in that sense. I buy stuff like if I get a good price on it, and sometimes people, do you want this, come and get it, I know you're using stuff. This one I got for free many years ago. I have a couple of them. Have no idea what I want to do with them, but I know that it's going to fill some purpose. Now it's going to be a support for a rose tree. So I'm going to start, let's see if I can have a something to measure with. If you remember my, now I'm waltzing around and out of picture. I wanted to have it 1,100 millimeters high and 400 millimeters down in the ground. So that means 1.5 meters or 1,500 millimeters. I realized that didn't always talk about measurement in English gonna be a problem of mine then. So let's make it all the way. So I need 4 of them. I think I'm gonna make one and use that as a reference. So be a little bit lazy and use my metal bandsaw. One of my favorite tool that I actually bought not too long time ago, and it makes it so much easier to cutting up stuff. So 1 and 3 to go. It's going to end in a disaster, I can just feel it. I'm gonna poke it through the stomach on my cameraman now, or destroy something in the workshop. Like the roof, for instance. Nice sound. Now that I have witnessed all that noise and everything, I don't want to bother you with me cutting this up. I'm gonna do that off camera, And I'm also going to cut up the 3 circles. That's going to be 200 millimeter multiplied by 3.14 to get the diameter and get the, I don't know the English word for it, distance around the circle. So anyhow, I start doing this and I come back when it's time to make the circles. See you then. So now I have cut up some steel pins. 200 millimeters diameter makes 628 millimeters long. So this is a 628. What I'm going to do is just to try to make them round on this handle, or it's not a real one. It's a piece of railway road. The funny thing here is that I had a neighbor before that was putting down railway, and I asked him, could you maybe fix for a piece for me? Yeah, no problem. And he come over one day and said, now I have fixed a piece for you. Oh great, I thought. And you can come over and get it, and then you can cut up it in whatever length you want. And it was actually this piece of railroad road. And he asked, you can take it, maybe you need something to take it with over to your house, and then you just cut it in length. And I said, okay, I have some machinery, but nothing to cut a steel piece like this. And then he was kind enough to cut it up and make a tongue like this for me, and I just bolted on a piece of wood. So I think this is gonna maybe sound a little bit, but let's try. The whole idea is to put it on, slowly bend it, and of course it would have been easier if it's hot. And you see it start to become a bend. Working on it, and maybe sometimes you need to take a couple of turns with a circle and finally get it round. I would like to have this type of roller that you put it in and you just press it and roll it round, but I don't own one, so this is second best. So I'm gonna work with this, and I'm gonna spare you the boredness of looking at it and hearing the sound of it. And I come back when I have this free circle and we start to weld in together the base of the support. See you then. Bye bye. Hi again. Somebody turned the camera on. So I decided it was easier to make a rough circle without using the hammer. And when I have a close enough bend, I need to start to use the hammer. I made one circle. No, by no means perfect, but it's easier to weld this together and then start to hammer it to a more perfect one. As soon as I start to hammer now, it bends away. So it's better to weld it together and then manipulate it into a more perfect circle. So what I'm going to try to do here is bend it a little bit by hand. I cannot take the edges because I have no leverage. But get a little bit closer and then start to hammer it again. And the nice thing here is that the railroad road is a little bit bent, so it's quite easy to follow that one. And the other thing that I noticed is that it's bent a little bit, like a triangle, but I can see it on the blackness of the steel that it cracks up, so I can follow where I have put this small bend in the triangle and then get the smooth bend out of it. So it's getting there. I think it's almost, please check, I can get the diameter right in the center by hand and then use the sledgehammer to get it right. Yeah, close enough. Maybe get a little bit more in this end. So then I need to bend those ends in. Oh, way too much. That's okay. Too much again. And just seems to be a bit too aggressive now. As you can see, I follow that quite well. And the same thing here. If I just, problem is that I bend it just in one point, but I've done some of these kind of things before, and if I weld it together, I can put it like this and try to get it right. So I do not spend more time on this until I welded it together and try to make it as good, perfect roundness as I can. So 2 to go, 2 done, and 1 to go. And yes, it's hot in here, even if air conditioning is on. So I continue and see you again after I welded them together, or when I weld them together. See you then. So, now you can see over this. Like that. No, you're definitely not going to see. So, now I made 3 more or less good circles. So I want to weld them together. Just put them in the vise to away something that might burn up. Round it. And tack weld it together. So let's see how this works. And turn the helmet on. I remember I forgot one thing. Put my homemade welding fan on. So, and just, I think it's all together, but just for good measure, put one little tack weld on the inside as well. I'm not sure if you can see. Yeah. So it's, again, I'm not a good welder. I can put things together, that it holds together. Sometimes my welds looks nice, sometimes they look like this, not very nice. But with a grinding machine, I can get it to look right. So, weld our two together and let them cool a little bit so I can handle them without burning myself. So, see you when I try to make these round. I'm gonna file away the leftover welding because that one particularly didn't do very nice. See if I can manage this one better. So let's come back when I try to make them good round shape out of it. See you then. Hi again. I welded this together. I grinded them up so they look decently nice. One of the circle I made it as a circle. Not 100% perfect, it would be better if I had a rolling thing to make it round, but now I don't. I have this one that I haven't started working on. Okay, not okay. So now since we have welded together, it's sometimes a little bit easier to just get it into the right shape. Yeah, I'm happy. And then the next one. The nice thing with this kind of work is some types of thing that I do in here. You're very precise, it should be dimension of hundredth of millimeter and so on. This one is just, it should look okay. It's rather nice to do both things. Things that are extremely precise and things that you don't need to care so much about for precision. So that's okay. So the next step will be to this one should go 40 centimeters or 400 millimeters down into the ground. I decided to put those at the inside and the ring at the outside. The tricky part here is to put weld this on like a 90-degree intervals. Otherwise you will rather quickly see it with the eye that it's not done correctly. But my idea is to first weld 1, 2, 3, 1 in place and make sure that they are 90 degrees to this one, and then add the other 3. So my welding table is a little bit too small for this kind of work, but let's see what we can do. And then this one, I've seen them all over the world more or less. It's just 90-degree magnets. Benefits is very easy to use and you can hold your things in place. The drawback is I collect everything small metal pieces, so and it's quite hard to clean them up as well. So let's see if we can put that in 90 degree. And we also need to put, let's see if it's this one in 90 degree. So I'm not 100% sure how I should do this, but yeah, that will work. So, and something to hold it down with. And I had a cut-off piece. With this. That. Looks okay. So then I should just connect the weld and fire it up. So we come back a little bit soon when I've done that, because I need to access the high power outlet that is behind the cameraman. So see you a little bit later. Bye. So now I have put up the welding machine connected to my high power outlet, and also put up a fan so don't get so much smoke in here from welding. So let's get started. Big everything is off, so let's go on. Need to shorten that one. So, decently good weld. It's so far in between when I do welding, and always the first couple of ones looks extremely nasty. Now it looks okay. I will not weld the power plant together, but it's okay. So let's see. I had need to put up the next ring, and let's say I have a drawing on the whiteboard. 110 millimeters divided by 2. It's 550 in between. It's alive. Like this become a little bit. So. $550. So I would need something more to hold that in place. Let's see if we do it like that, and maybe just tack it a little bit. totally destroying my tools. So, and same trick again. So, before we start to put everything together, sanity check, 110, 55, and 40. Good, good. See if we can. Okay. Yeah. Good, good. That's well. That's the reason why it doesn't go so well. Need to keep the grounding closer to the weld. just get a picture. It turned out quite well. So just to continue the same way, it should be on the inside, but put it like that. And one on the other side. And then after that it's time to do like a metal basket to hold in the top of a rose tree. But I think I do the last two off camera, and we come back when I start to bend and decorate this one. So see you then. Bye. I had an idea here that I would like to share. I would like to put one bar 90 degree to these ones. Let's assume that I've got them 180 degree in a circle. I think so, at least I got these. So I thought if I put these up so they are tall in English, completely 90 degree to plumb. Then if I put this right in the bottom, you will see it not killing the cameraman. Self-leveling, just drop it down. If these circles are good, decent. So now that one should be 90 degree to these two. They even look like this. So let's go for that one. Just fix it. Round it. That one remove. And start welding. Good. So that was my trick that I found out doing this, and let's come back, as I said, building the basket. I continue to weld all these things together. See you in a bit. So now it's welded together. We're going to stick it down to the ground to about here. The tree goes inside, and then now it's time for the nice basket. I think I'm going to go. Instead of this is 8 millimeters. Both that I don't have that much 8 millimeters, and also to get the basket to look a little bit lighter, we have 6 millimeters. So I'm gonna start to bend. I haven't decided yet. I start to bend one circle that is 40 centimeters in diameter, 400 millimeters. I haven't decided if I should bend it up like this and then make a round edge and go straight up. So I have two circles, 400 millimeters. Or I should make it like a half ball or square. And then make it 400 millimeters, and then I need to measure it when I weld it together, what the diameter is down here, and make a new circle. So I think about how to do that after I make the first circle and see how it might look like. So this is ready, so I need to put that aside so I have more space. So stand down. So then it's time to do some bending again. Make one rod that is pi multiplied by 400 and start bending a circle again. So we're going to cut this up and then come back when I make one more circle. I hope that this is going to be a little bit easier since it's 6 millimeters. The other one took some elbow grease to get it in place. So see you then when we start to bend it round. So I I decided to make a sketch on what I had available, big size enough. I had a piece of plywood, and to come over here. This part here is what we already welded together. This is the 400mm ring, and this is the second ring. The question here is to go with a free-based curve like that, or making a bend that has a radius of 100mm and then go straight up. And the order of this project, that would be my wife and I decided, that we go for this one. So I'm gonna measure how long this is gonna be, because I could be quite short of material, and then making 2 identical rings and 4 pieces like this. And I'm gonna use a thicker pen just to create a template for myself, so it's easier to bend it and put against the template to make sure that I'm on track. So let's go ahead, make this bend and cut material, and when I start to bend the circle, we come back and I cut all the material off camera. See you then. So now I have cut 4 pieces into length for these ones, and 2 for circles. What I have done on these ones, since I have my template, I marked where the radius should stop, and also, so I don't make a mistake, that's not a 100% promise, but I hope so, I marked the parts that should be bent, because they are not the same length. So, but I think I can start with making the circles, and hopefully it's a little bit easier on the smaller one. But I need some gloves. Just to get the circle started. Something like that. Let's say we can do the same trick we did for a smaller one. It works quite well without using the hammer. You have better control. What I try to do here is to, you can look down, to this of course fall plumb by itself, but it's quite easy to start making a circle like that, and then you have a corkscrew instead of a circle. So try to keep a little bit track of where the steel rods end up. Not too bad for the first round. So I do the same thing here. So I have start of a radius, and if we can align them a little bit, and then I do the same thing again and take small steps, and it's easier to bend a little bit more than bend it backwards. So. And then we're going to do the same thing as with the smaller one, that we weld them together and take the last finesse of making them round. Now actually I think I've done because I'm talking and a little bit too much. Maybe, and not too bad. Decently close. Yeah, I think that is. Need to straighten out a little bit. Well, okay. Okay enough to weld it together and fixing it better. And sanity check on the template. Yes, 400 millimeters. So I do the next, and I think you have seen how I welded other circles together, so that's if you don't need to take one more time, I believe. So I do both circle, and we come back when I bend the 100mm radius on the shorter pieces. See you in a bit. So now I have ready with the circles, and they're going to be the smaller one. I marked with my pen the part that should have a radius of 100mm. So I guess I need to use the hammer because it's quite small radius compared to what I can do with my hand. My plan here is I use the template on the plywood to see that when I have it ended up correctly. Now I am at the line. It's actually become a little bit too much, so I can just, and it also have, need to flatten it out a bit. So. Apart from flattening it a bit. Have a look. So I'm quite happy. I think the last finessing would be when we start welding it together. I need to make sure that it's flat, otherwise it's a little bit hard for myself. So I'm gonna, when I have all four and circles round and so on, I'm gonna weld the circles in place and then start finessing these so they end up on my stand, so to speak. And I'm not 100% sure that was, I aimed at 200mm, I measured the diameter, it was 210, and I'm probably not 100% perfect circle. So it's going to be needing some finessing to get it in place, but so far so good. So I have one to go, one done, 3 to go. So I just continue with this one, and we come back when I guess starting welding the circles together. Or we skip that because I've done that before. So I start welding the basket together. See you then. Bye bye. So now the 2 rings are done, and I'm gonna start welding it together. Now we don't have, I don't know. We need to do something clever to get them 90 degrees to each other, but I weld this together while I'm thinking about exactly how to do this. So this is good. It's measured by eye, and it's on the magnetic triangle, so I believe it's quite okay. So everything in place. Rounding was not there it should be. I put it on the table. So let's get welding. that was quite bad. Bad grounding, I guess. So, do it again, see if I can get better. Well. There you go. So, now to the trickier part. The only chance is doing this by eye. Well, what I think I'm gonna do is that's quite long, right? Let's see. I actually need a little bit more finessing. Okay, perfect. So, let's see. The moment of truth, if I'm gonna delete this video clip, or say I don't think it's correct. Not too bad. I can definitely deal with this one. What I think I'm gonna do, these are a little bit long, or at least they are standing like this, or they're a little bit long. So I do not dare to put them out and weld them into place, then maybe I cannot fit that ring. So I'm gonna put that ring in place and then finessing the length of these bars so everything ends up correctly. So second ring goes on. Then I believe we're going to need some welding clamps. Now I have the line that you remember I put on when I bent it, so I put a second circle right on that line. If I have one more, sure. Nah, will not work. Let's get something else. What I could do, if I would have been a little bit clever to begin with, is to divide the circle of an outer dimension by 4 instead of going by eye. But let's continue doing it by eye since I've done it from the start. So we can start to weld one together. Move things around, try to get it right. Yeah, let's go for that. welded it. That was supposed to. Let's see. I welded a clamp to my piece. Isn't that nice? Okay. That's a fix for another day. Let's see if I can not weld this one together. Nice. Better. So then it's time to see, can I, no. Place with so well, a little bit long. So the question is, I believe I just try to put it in center and then cut off the left part inside. It shouldn't have bent it, it was good. Ah, bad weld. Okay. It seems to be a little bit too late in the evening or something. So, I think I need to grind that off. Otherwise, it's going to be big and ugly. It's already big and ugly, and that's not stuck down there either. So, some grinding work to fix this, and get that in place and come back when I start to weld this in. See you then. So, I welded together my mistake that broke. I think even if it's going to be outside and all that, I need to put some more welds to it because it's rather fragile. But what I would like to do now is that I have these two opposite to each other. I put them on these rods that go in vertical and push them in the correct place, and I weld them in, and I'm going to take the other two to do the same thing, and I hope I can finesse it into place. It looks nice. So I just start welding. Now I hope I can do the same thing. Now everything I guess is spotlight, nothing else. Yeah, it is. Ah. Sometimes you wish you have 4 hands, or at least 3. I should never have taken it off in the first place. So, then I think it is in place. And it's straight. So, let's weld this piece together as well. So, almost done. What I'm gonna do is put a little bit more welds on up here. I think this one's okay, maybe I weld it a little bit. But hang around and look when I'm doing this, and then we will try it out outside. But then I think it should be cooled down so it don't burn the roses. Anyhow, so hang around. we are done. We survived the stupid move. I hope my wife liked it. I think it's good. So, gonna let it cool down a little bit and take it outside for test fit, and hopefully it will fit. See you then. So this is a small rose tree that we're gonna put inside the thing I created, and I need to put it down from the top, so I need to tie this together with a small string or something. So while I'm doing that, and I think I need maybe some help from the cameraman, so let's come back and have things in place. So I think we're there. Garden, not my thing, but I believe we want to take that off. Maybe with some cable ties or something to centralize it in the center. But I think I'm going to do that and take some expertise help from my wife in regards to gardening, and come back and have a final look at it. So now I figure out how to do it. Electric engineer as I am, cable ties. Cable ties, yeah, then you can fix them like that as well. So I think I'm gonna put one in each corner, call it that, but then I can force the flower to stay in the middle. Can also take away the old support. I have a slight little problem with this project. Is course I want my wife to like it, but if she do, I know that I'm gonna go do a lot of other garden stuff, and that is not the Renaissance man thing to do. But that's what we do with my wife, yes. So now it's in center. So that looks fine. Make it look nice. Yeah, there we got it. A nice support of a rose tree. And there's no paint and nothing on it. And the whole idea is that it's gonna rust with pride and get nice and red. I think one winter and then it's done. So my work is done. I'm gonna just clean up and done for the day. See you. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.